Welcome to the Starting Over Podcast. I'm your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is a show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. I'm recording in the middle of nephew time. My nephew's over here, and it's sort of cool because he's taking a nap with my mom, so I'm just going to be recording. So it's been a interesting week and a half, just mainly trying to make various things come together and learning some more about my style of play and the fact that I can't do these last minute teams. I just can't. It's so many problems, and me trying to do it and then playing it and then feeling guilty about how long it's taking me to make turns. 3-minute turns, 4-minute turns. You know, just after a while, you're just like, oh, I'm so bad. I won by 5 points. You know. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at how the meta is going to shift. And I'm trying to give you a basic primer on the next few months of what they're going to be like and what you need to start being ready for. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take in what I'm going to say, but then when you start saying like, that sounds interesting, I want you to make a note, and I want you also to make a note saying what else along this line comes up as well. All right. So let's get crack-a-lacking. All right. One thing that I think is going to end up coming back is your specialty theme teams. In particular, Amazon, Apocalypse, Justice League International. You may even see a deity team or two pop up. But your Justice League International, your Amazons, your not so much I don't think your Atlanteans that much. But those are going to show back up. You might see Metropolis theme teams once people understand what's going on. When people understand how stupid strong Metropolis and Reporter is going to be, it's a whole different game. So what does that mean? That means a lot of abilities and faculties that you have that eliminate theme team role, negate theme team role, take away team abilities is going to be a lot more powerful. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our way back machine, and we're going to go to Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and we're going to look at Black Widow. And Black Widow has espionage double agent. When Black Widow is part of a theme team and she uses probability control as a result, you may reduce the number of times your opponent can use probability control from being a theme team instead of your instead of you. When she uses probability control as a result of being part of a theme team, she is not given an action token, so she can drain tons of theme team probs off of people. With the Avengers, Shield, Soldier, Spy, and Strike Team keyword. Minus Strike Team, all of those keywords are hyper viable. I really do mean hyper viable. And you're paying 114 points. I know, but I think with the onset of Superman, Wonder Woman, we're going to be playing lots of 500, 600. Heck, I just finished a 1,000-point game the other day. So we're going to be seeing a lot of big point games. So packing her isn't going to be a problem. The issue is what you're going to build around her. But with the Avengers Initiative in SHIELD TA and so many Avengers in the last 6 months, you don't have too much of an excuse on what you're going to do. All right, let's look at another element that's going to come back in. High amounts of damage reduction. If we really look at Superman, Wonder Woman, we can see an upswing in a couple of important stats. Stat number 1, the number of defense or damage reduction clicks Uh, Number 2 is clicks of life. Now, they're both really important for various reasons. The first reason why uh, the damage reduction is huge is that we're still seeing the average defense values. So we're seeing 18s, 17s, okay? But just having a influx of damage reduction means that getting through all of that standardly, in a normal game is going to be a little bit tougher. Okay, clicks of health. We're looking at just from the start. The first Superman, he's 8 clicks deep. Then we go into the Common Wonder Woman. Common Wonder Woman, okay amount of damage reduction, 7 clicks deep. There are a few other characters who are just like, wow, you're super deep. That's impressive. Um, and that's a huge deal. Uh, Now, let's look at Superman from the uncommons. He's 8 clicks deep, and over half of his dial is damage reduction. So let's sort of put that into perspective. Um, we have a lot of not just damage you have to land to do something substantial. It's just consistent damage output. So here's what I'm looking at as being important: enhancement, 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 enhancement. Utilizing your placement with enhancement is going to be far better than it ever has previously. Next up, what's going to be a pretty big deal is outwit. A lot of these guys don't have outwit, or they don't have, don't have outwit immunity. And even more so, the ones that do, if you get a high point outwitter, then you're golden. Quinjet, giving the 135 ability to like a high point team base or something, you're overcoming a lot of problems right there. Uh, the other thing that people are going to like flock to because of this is Psychic Blast and Pulse Wave. So to sort of counter the counter meta, you could see a nice influx of Silver Centurion and the use of Silver Centurion and the blue Superman Blue. So now your opponents are really having to just like deal with what's coming. So those are something that things that I want you to like put on top of your head and just be like, I got it. Another thing that I want us to look at is, and then this is going to, it's going to start sounding bad, is low point spam. Low point spam. In a set like this, you wouldn't think like low point spam is going to start becoming an issue, but we saw it a little bit in Nick Fury, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but we're really seeing it in this set. And the low point spam, I talked about it in the set review. Jimmy Olsen, the reporters, all of the Colossals at their 25 or 15 point dials, all of these characters can be spammed. And why is spam huge? Spam is huge for theme teams. Spam is huge for tie-ups. Spam is huge for getting tons of cheap little support powers with little investment. So, like, let's take Jimmy Olsen for example. 25 points. Perplex on the first click. Right there. Now, forget transform into Turtle Boy, that and Superman Signal Watch and all this other stuff. Let's just look at the fact that he's 25 points, 3 clicks deep, has Perplex up front. You don't have to activate him. You don't have to put him into a really bad position so that he can get his situational Perplex. He just has a flat Perplex. That's really strong. Let's look at Lana Lang. Lana Lang at 20 points gives us Empower. So some superhero puts her underneath their arm and carries her off and starts clobbering people. And a lot of, I'm surprised that not too many people have brought up the fact that you can, have your flyer, pick up Lana Lang, charge, hit, then she can sidestep over and tie somebody else up. Now your opponent has to go and deal with a 20-point Lana Lang instead of getting that ranged combat shot off on whatever attacker. So there's tons of good stuff. Even the two most abusable in this set are Newsboys Legion, and then I think it's Atom Smasher. So let's look at Newsboys Legion real quick. Newsboy Legion's 15 points has Metropolis, Past, and Reporter keyword. So we're looking again, Metropolis, this is coming up. You gotta be aware, this is going to be a problem. Now, he has Smoke Cloud and Sidestep, and he doesn't have anything cool like some of the, like Lana or Jimmy, but he does have the world needs to know your distractions, all that other stuff. So he's able to, when placed properly, lower defenses down by 1. Okay, sorry, speed and range values. I apologize. Speed and range values down by 1. So you can sort of use the Newsboy Legion guys as sort of like trappers. So you use the world needs to know your distractions. Now their speed and range is lower. Then you put Smoke Cloud underneath them. Now their movement is halved. So they're not getting that far. So you're able to just like catch up on them. So those are some things to look at. But let's go back and look at the Atom. I said the Atom Smasher is Atom. Okay, the Atom's keywords that he has are really good. Is that he has Soldier, and that's huge, and Wonders of the World, and we're really going to see more of the Wonders of the World guys popping up here or there. Now, the Wonders of the World ATA, it could be really, really good. It could be really, really, it can be really, really good, or it can be really, really bad. But mainly that Soldier of getting the Atom into place, and him being teamed up with Captain America from the Fast Forces, that's a huge deal. So we have that. So I can do my retaliation thing with a couple of Atom Smashers on a Soldier team, or have a couple of them on the Wonders of the World team. And now I know some of you might say, well, hey, Dark Logos, aren't these guys just going to get wiped out? They're really super fragile. They only have one click. Yes, but again, let's go back to the spam concept. If I'm able to, shoot off 2 of them, at the right moments, then what has my opponent done? They've wasted an attack trying, on Atom Smasher. They wasted a pulse wave that was going to do 5 to my big hitter, only did 1 because Atom Smasher is there. So there's a lot of placement stuff that can be used to maximize your spam. That's best. Just be honest. Just maximize your spam. So that sort of puts us at a transition point, since we're sort of talking about the giant size characters and spam. The colossal size characters and spam, and we're going to go and look at the new design insight errata that pretty much has just gone live. And then pretty much they're just trying to streamline the game rules, and they're like, hey, a character size determined by the combat symbol it possesses. They're all the sizes, blah 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 blah. Pretty much, hey, if you're bigger, you can carry somebody that's smaller. So a tiny size character, you gain tiny size ability. Standard size, you get no additional combat. Great size, giant reach. Giant size gets that, and then colossal gets giant reach and colossal stamina. So those are pretty much as it was. But except for the new great reach ability. And then also colossals get to have improved targeting out of adjacency. And then also I think there was something that you colossals can like draw a line of fire over outdoor blocking and outdoor elevated, or something like that. trying to find it here. Anyway, line of fire drawn from a character are not blocked by characters, yeah, that are smaller than themselves. Characters can't carry characters larger than themselves. All characters now have the innate ability to use the carry ability in addition to normal carry granted to carry one character smaller than themselves. They just made that clear. Tiny size, great size. Okay, current character ignores opposing character's plasticity, can use improved movement, but then they also give you improved targeting. Yeah, here it is down here under great size, improved movement and improved targeting. Shoot out of adjacency, ignore elevation, ignore hindering, and ignore blocking. So what this change is indication of is that now you have characters that were not as viable because of, oh my gosh, the Nick Fury Ryute meta are now viable to solve for the Nick Fury problem. And so you have these colossal size characters that are just be able to say like, hey, I can see over the mountain. I can see, I see you over there. I see you in that hole of the mountain. Nothing is escaping me. And yeah, there's that advantage that comes up. The other thing is you're also looking at a situation where people are going to still be experimenting with this, and that experimenting is it's going to be very, very interesting. Definitely considering Brimstone can use at 400 points, can use his little fireball ability and just be like, boom, I running shot, pulse wave. Oh, I get to pulse wave from this square, like as if I was in that square, and boom, yeah, 9 squares away, full damage pulse wave. Good day to you. And so yeah, there's definitely some interesting things that can go down. Even had some cool conversations about what else you could do with Brimstone. So he's not the best of the Colossals, but he's definitely not the worst. But with our changes that we're seeing changes to equip, the changes to the giant size into the colossal size. We're now in this weird position where we have to reassess everything, and it's nice that there's nothing major on the line to give us time to reassess everything. Okay. The one thing that I think is definitely going to become a major issue now is Mizaplik. Like with the changes to colossal size, the fact that you can get colossal stamina plus you can get improved targeting, ignores outdoor elevated and outdoor elevated, outdoor hindering, outdoor blocking. There's a lot to be said about that. And we also can just be honest with ourselves. People are going to start designing teams where they're just going to make a colossal Nick Fury. Okay, so I've talked about Titano slightly. Let's look at Solaris real briefly. Okay, so you have Solaris, and I'm just bringing him up because he's all right points and he has a decent range. So you don't have to put a sniper rifle on him to make him better. So let's look at Solaris at 150 points. Okay. At 150 points, you're getting not the best of stats, but it's not bad. 10 range, okay. Phasing, he's colossal size, standard attack symbol, invulnerability, could be better. All right, now I inherently you're paying for Tyrant Sun improved targeting ignores hindering terrain, which is sort of sad now because you're automatically getting that. So when they thought of this, it had to be after they printed this stuff. So now, okay, so I ignore hindering terrain. I have my pulse wave, and then you can do the whole, I can hit you twice the number of action tokens or whatever else. So I got an outwit, I can see through stealth, I can, through outdoor stealth, I can see through over outdoor, over elevated and other things. I've now I have very little mobility, but he's pretty much just a stationary attacker. Just pretty much just stationary attacker. Could I just say like, hey, I'm going to plant up here, put in 3 shield agents. Now I have a 13, and I have a 13 range and 7 damage, and I'm going to have somebody like perplex up my attack to 12 or something. I don't know. So can we experiment with the glass cannon Solaris? I mean, for fun, yes. Do I think that's going to win a rock? No. I think it's just going to be fun, something to play around with. I do think that all of a sudden Titano went from okay, and then to, oh my gosh, this is strong, to this is really, really strong. Definitely with the Colossal Reach, and the Colossal Reach giving you giant reach with a range of 3. Range of 3 squares. I think that's a really, really big deal. Not only that, you can go in and retrofit your old Colossals, and you can just see what they all can do, and it's just like, wow, that's really interesting. All right, let's look at what else is going to go on. Mitsaplik. That's what I was doing. Okay, so I'm going to eBay right now, and I'm gonna go and try to find a Mitsaplik, and we're just going to. I'm not gonna buy one right now, but just to sort of make a point. Okay. Most of the buy it nows and bids are like around $30 something. So definitely something to think about.
Here we go. I ended up just looking at a bunch of bids online for Titano, and Titano is actually going for like sub 25, so it's actually like just worth picking Titano up on eBay. Like, it's sort of hilarious. I guess people don't really understand how stupid strong that monkey is. So yeah. All right, so let's sort of go back and look at some other elements that we need to just be aware of. One thing that I think that is definitely going to be useful if you start to think about it is the old Superman sets that you have characters that get bonuses against characters with the Kryptonian keyword or Superman team ability. So I think that those elements are going to be really interesting. Definitely considering that anybody that gets their hands on the Chase Superman is going to be playing the Chase Superman. Definitely at like 280. I see that happening so hard. I also see that Superman being the new, hey, I'm running the, the Sinestro Core battery with the Spotlight or the Decoy or the Nurse, and that's it. That's what I'm doing, and maybe an ID card just in case. So I see that going now. if you did say your ID card, the ID card would definitely be Iron Man for the invincible Iron Man comment at 150, so that he can bust through walls and take a shot on somebody, killing a low point guy, and then just running for the rest of the match. I know some people might say, but the wall construct. I'm like, yeah, you can wall construct too, and be in a corner, but I don't know if it has the same utility. So anyway, let's keep moving on. I was hoping by now we would have something that would be able to deal with the possessing people and just be like, nope, you don't get to do that. But unfortunately, that's not the case. That's really not the case. Let's look at some generic keywords that come up in this set that I think that are really good, other than reporter. I mean, of course, uh, we can look at scientist. Scientist is right now moving into a way better space than it's been in a while. You have access to a bunch of great characters. So let me get my tabs up because stuff isn't working properly. Anyway, well, the first scientist that from the set, while I try to get my tabs going, is Hell or Hell, and Hell is I really like him. Definitely at 100 points. He's muscle plus support, and a lot of folks may not have noticed that viability. Um, you know, uh, Definitely recently. Of how good he is as a third tier attacker, secondary attacker. Also, just sitting there giving you support. So there's that. Another thing that we're sort of looking at, let's look at that scientist keyword a little bit better. And bam, and modern age. Okay, here we go. Being able to build off of that, we're able to get access to some other good stuff, like Fitz from the Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fast Forces. Of course, the standard Fitz from the Nick Fury set. We can't also forget about the Hank Pyms that we got from Age of Ultron and all his morph forms. The Iron Man from the original Fast Forces, original Avengers, which, in my opinion, having seen what that character can do, that the vet Iron Man, sorry, not the vet version, the full 150 experience version. I think we're probably going to see a lot more of him. Definitely for the fact that he's giving us a little bit of a reboot to improve targeting, destroys blocking. So definitely something to think about. And I find that guy right there, when Invincible Iron Man retires, that this Fast Forces Iron Man at 150 is just going to come in and take his place. We got the Hulk from Avengers Assembled, which wasn't a bad Hulk. It's just a movie Hulk came in and just stomped that one into the ground. And of course, Maximus. And let's just see. Let me go down to DC. World's Finest, because of Power Girl. You have that. Adam Strange was fun. Not the best, but fun. The Lex Luthor from the Superman Wonder Woman set is okay for a scientist theme team. The Crime Syndicate Fast Forces with Deathstorm. You can do some interesting things with him. Definitely on click 2. He's going to be a little bit harder to build around, mainly because the defend chain on Atomica is not really there unless you use the Phoenix Force. So, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Owlman, the cheap Owlman is pretty good for scientists. Star Labs Tech, of course, and Harley Quinn Engineer, and Toyman, and Egghead, by far most slept on figure in the meta. Just people do not, they just don't pay attention to him, sadly. So because of that, that's one generic keyword that I just found to be like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. We actually have a good amount of those that we can, build teams off of. Another one is the soldier keyword. And the soldier keyword, we got a nice little bump with the generic soldier for the soldier keyword. Now, you might say like it's 40 points, but 40 points, and we get the PD ability, we get energy explosion. But when we start combining that with General Lane and a few other a few other major figures with the whatchamacallit, with the soldier keyword, then we're all of a sudden back into a very different place. And scrolling down, holding this now. The weird thing for me right now is like I have the mic like right in my lap, and so I can't like bring up my keyboard. So I used to have this balancing act that I did where I would balance the mic right on my armrest, and I could do that for a bit until it fell, and then that just caused different problems. So anyway, so some of the cool soldiers that we have are like Nick Fury Jr. Let's see, I think even Balls of Fury. Yeah, Balls of Fury is a soldier. War Machine from the Age of Ultron. Of course, you have your Captain America from the Fast Forces. Jarvis is a soldier from Avengers Assembled. Uh, Red Skull, that's sort of hilarious. Red Wolf, great value figure right there. I'm just going to just scroll through, pick up some other random ones that some might have been overlooked. Everybody remembers GW Bridge because he allows you to make theme teams that shouldn't be theme teams. And out of the Superman Wonder Woman set, we have the Captain Atom is the main big heavy hitter prime soldier. You have General Lane, like I said before. You have access to the Superman Chase, which is also a soldier, which, if you think about it in a higher point game, General Lane and that Superman can be really, really strong. The Atom is a soldier. The War Wheel is a soldier, which you didn't really think about. Definitely combined with General Lane and even that Captain America, that you're able to deploy a War Wheel. So let's look at that real quick. So if we play a War Wheel at 400 points, which I don't recommend, but let's just say we do, we're able to move it up to half its movement, which would be 6 squares from Captain America. Then we can have it attack with energy explosion with 7 range, 3 targets, 12 attack, 20 damage. Sorry, 20 defense, 4 damage. And we're paying for, at 400 points, 20 clicks. No Titano, but not everything can be the awesome monkey. And we're mainly looking at wiping out massive groups of people using energy explosion. So let's just say, at your best, let's just say at your best, you're able to get 3 targets. One target's taking 2 damage. The other targets are taking 1 damage. So all your main primary targets are not taking damage. Are taking like just printed damage. Your splash damage of 3, and let's just say that every character that's not targeted, that's adjacent, is taking 3 splash damage. You have a reasonable chance against most of the swarm teams to do 3, 6, 9, 18 damage against some of the standard swarm teams that are out there, which is, I'm just mainly thinking of, you have the main person you target, and they're surrounded by 3 people either providing PD or enhancement or both, or shield. and that's really good. And then considering how much how many powers you have, or that can be negated through the shield changing the world trait, like definitely high point games. I could see that this ability can be really, really strong. And you can also sort of dive bomb with the Atom with his retaliation, or you could just play the Atom at like lower points. I really don't like the Atom at a full 300 points. I don't think he's worth it. I really don't think he's worth it. I think that he has potential. He doesn't have all the great stuff Titano has. And that's my problem, is Titano has things that allow him to sort of get in there. He gets some a little range in there. He's able to get flurry in there, and you really don't have that with the Atom. But by far, he's probably one of the best retaliation pieces that's there. Another character, just sort of looking at just opening up this the soldier keyword, is bringing in the Flash Amanda Waller. So there's some funness there. John Stewart Green Lantern from War of Light. Mr. Majestic, if he's your Superman, if you don't have Superman, and I still think that he is a solid figure, definitely combined with the Outsiders. To use move and attack, Levin, to use his transporter, locking him at 11 attack, 5 damage. So there's some fun stuff there. There's a lot of good stuff there. Definitely on the generic keyword route. I know I said, like, name keyword Amazon and Atlantis is getting get good boost. Same thing with Metropolis. I like that. I really, really like that. Apocalypse even has gotten a little bit of a bump, even though Apocalypse's main problem has always been that a majority of the figures that you're running is going to be Darkseid, a couple of core general figures, and then a crap ton of parademons. And it's really hard running an Apocalypse team that is not, how can I put it, that's not just parademon dependent. It's really hard. All right, let's go into some other takeaways for the meta for us to start really thinking about the implications thereof. Let's start back with Mxyzptlk, because I think that Mxyzptlk is by far the main culprit here. Yeah, he's the main culprit for the meta shift. The main element that we have to keep in mind from going this point forward is things that can be re-rolled or do not indicate that they can't be re-rolled. Those things we're going to have to be more mindful of. So let's just go ahead and messing with the odds again. At the beginning of the game, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled and place the rolled result on this card. Okay, so you can't have another Mxyzptlk be like, I rolled a 1, screw it, you got a 1 now, or I rolled a 2, now you have a 2 now. Another Mxyzptlk can't jack with another Mr. Mxyzptlk. Mr. Mxyzptlk's give Mr. Mxyzptlk a power action. If there are no d6 on the card, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled and place the rolled result on this card. Whenever any die roll that can be re-rolled, now again, it says it has to indicate that it can be re-rolled, are rolled, including as part of a 2d6 roll. Okay, you may remove the d6 from this card and replace one of those die results with the roll result from the d6 removed from this card. So the main element that we have to remember is a Mr. Mxyzptlk rolling a 1. Whenever a Mr. Mxyzptlk would roll, whenever you roll a 1 and you're facing a Mr. Mxyzptlk rolling a 1, you want to immediately prob. You want to immediately prob, because it's better for you to miss than crit miss. Okay, so there's going to be some of that. There's going to be some baiting involved. even with successful rolls. Uh, the one question that is in play here is, okay, I make a roll and I hit or miss or whatever. Let's say I hit. Okay, I don't need that much to hit, and I roll a let's say I roll a 6 and I have a 1. Okay, Mr. Misaplick has a 1 on his die. He replaces my 5 with a 1. Now I crit miss. Can I then re-roll? Just say screw that prob. Now I force Mr. Misaplick to burn his dice, and I get to re-roll the attack, which is a low attack. So there is some baiting in there, because it doesn't have anything like Scarlet Witch's power, like Final Result or whatever. Also, Scarlet Witch with this is going to be dumb. It's so going to be dumb. The other element, like I was saying before, coming back to like the defend chain with Despotellus and Atomica and all the other stuff, is that we're going to see a shift to the Phoenix Force to use defend. Because at first I was like, happy days are here again. No 20 defend chain, no 20 defend chain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then actually having some solid conversations with some high level players, it was just like, oh no, just Phoenix Force. And it's like, oh crap, you're right, Phoenix Force. And then you just Phoenix Force, use the Namor shard on the base, defend, use defend. It's like, okay, now I just, have the defender's TA. All my guys have the defender's TA. All right, so I'm defending a 20, which makes it a lot more intense. So now you have Mxyzptlk, Scarlet Witch, Despotellus, and some other attacker, whoever it may be. And now they're like, well, okay, this is a slow-moving bubble. We have the Phoenix Force. And actually, come to think of it, I don't know if Despotellus can be assigned the Phoenix Force. See, this is what happens after you do this for so long. Like, you start second-guessing yourself. Like, did WizKid say? And then you're like, let me find out. Because I think the Phoenix Force can't be assigned to any character below 25 points. Let's see. But no, 5% fragments. Never mind. I can take that back. It has to be at least 40 points, so I was wrong. So just take that all back. So can't even use Phoenix Force. So, all right. So finding other ways of getting a high defense is going to be an issue. But definitely when you're talking about manipulating odds, and even let's just say you're just dealing with Captain Marvel and you're defending an 18 to make a character's 19. Mxyzptlk and Scarlet Witch together is a lot of odds reinforcement. I mean, it just is. So that's a problem. So what we're going to do, we're just going to type in modern age. Defense is 19 or higher, greater than or equal to 19 on first click only. And we're just going to look and see how many people have that. All right, so we got some Shima-Gorath going. We got some Hulk and Red She-Hulk. Batragon can't get it. Thanos Throne. There we go, Thanos Throne. But you can assign a resource to Thanos Throne. Ultron Phalanx, but that's his full dial. Like you're paying 300 points for that. King Thor, add full. We're also looking at Hulkbuster, but that's a bit expensive. Thanosai. Thanosai can do it, and I'm assuming at 300. Morbius can on his top dial once he's eaten a lot of blood. So the way it's looking is it's going to be really, really hard getting that ability for cheap, if you can at all. Like even let's see, Wolverine and X-Men. No, that's the Chase Cyclops. So yeah, 19 now. So there's problems here. I'm seeing Brainiac Skull Ship, but I don't know. They put in the new Brainiac Skull Ship as well. Like, oh, okay, never mind. Convention exclusive on travel dial can give you a 19 defend, but you're paying 100 points for that, and everybody will always be gunning for Brainiac, and then his offensive capability is really low. So we're looking at some of the characters from the set. We're looking at Steppenwolf. Super Doom, unfortunately, is at 300 points. Superman is at 280. The Atom is coming in at 300 with his 19. Yeah. Uh, Brimstone is definitely at full. That's a 400 points. Also, I wanted to see the Luchador fight off with Brimstone in the Atom. I so want to see that. Yeah, Superman from Trinity War, Apollo from the Flash set, the Flash. I think that's going to be Kingdom Come Flash. Yeah, at 195, which actually might end up being your best bet, is Kingdom Come Flash, and then just maybe combining him with whatchamacallit, Captain Marvel with the Phoenix Force, and that might be a new thing. Because now Captain Marvel's a 19, Flash is a 20, and that just makes everything a lot more dirty. So really, we're looking. Oh, Galley-Zed, Black Lantern. Nope, he has that like feast dial thing going. So no, so that's not even dependable. So yeah, we're when it comes down to it, these tiny size characters getting these defenses through, like, defending through Adara or whatever else, it's a problem. So you're looking at Superman, Legion of Superheroes. Your cheapest defend for a 19 using the Phoenix Force is Shrinking Violet. So that's something to really sort of pause on. All right. So as you can see, there's a lot of transitional thoughts that are going on. I know one thing in particular, we're going to definitely see a lot more people just playing tent poles, just because the set is tilted around tent poles. But you might even see some higher point games, because people will want to start seeing some of their favorite Superman or new favorite Superman and Wonder Woman figures in bigger battles. But I really do think that we're not in for like a groundbreaking shift in how we view the game. I think what we are in for right now is a question about what's valuable and what's not valuable in the game right now. So I think once we start breaking that down a little bit more, we can come to a lot more solid meta solutions. We're going to have a rock here in the next few weeks, and I think we're going to start seeing the first batch of meta stuff, and definitely with the new rules changes to giants and colossals, I think we're going to see a lot of shenanigans there. And freaking Mitsaplik, I guarantee it, dollars to donuts, you're going to see Mitsaplik in some form or fashion. He's going to be there. So that's it for today's show. I'm going to give you guys like a heads up. Going into December and early January, the show might be a little bit more intermittent for a couple of reasons. One, the holidays. Two, found out my dad needs to get a second hip replacement. He had his other hip replaced a while ago. Actually a couple of years ago. So now he has to get his other hip replaced. So hopefully he can have surgery sometime around Thanksgiving and start recovering in December through early January. And since he's an accountant, he needs to be up and ready to go for tax season. So we're hoping everything can get resolved here real soon. So just giving everybody like a heads up that going into December, things might be a lot more questionable. Definitely when it comes to recording. Also, Fallout 4. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like the Fallout series, and anything like Bethesda does as a open world. I mean, I might not end up playing it day one, but if someone gives me a really good deal on a PlayStation 4 bundle with Fallout 4, I'm probably going to get it. I'm probably going to get it. So I'm not going to play. Like, I'm most likely going to get it. So, that has sucked my life before, like a beautiful succubus. Uh, but yeah. I know for some of you, you're going to be like, yeah, Fallout 4. So yeah, that's it. All right. Uh, you can follow me on the Twitters at StartOverPod. It came from outer space and told me, man, you think you got colossals here. Wait till you check out Quadrant 54923. You can check out my random musings, find out when the new show is up and away. And also maybe even find out if there is no show. You can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com if you wish to opine. Keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. And tell me, hey, what's going on so far with your new set? How your venue responding to the new set? What sort of cool stuff is everybody sort of coming up with? What sort of fun things are you thinking about? Let me know. You can check out the blog, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com, and you can buy my shirt uh, through the TeePublic link below. So definitely do that. The T-shirt is pretty good. It's a pretty good shirt. It's a nice gift to give your loved ones for Christmas, and to just explain to them, yes, just put this random black guy's face on your shirt, and wear this around. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening, and remember, we all have to start over sometime.